All right. Before I jump into anything, I want us all to actually arrive in this space together, because most of us come into lives rushed, as I just did. We scroll fast, we listen fast, we move fast, and burnout starts when nothing ever slows down. So wherever you are, whether you're sitting in your craft room, driving, folding laundry, answering emails, or just scrolling, pause with me for a second. Let's take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's try that again. Inhale and exhale. Do you know that we don't focus on our breathing, and a lot of times we actually aren't breathing? Because it's such a natural thing, we forget to breathe. Now let me introduce myself because context matters. If you're new here, I'm Claudia from Claudia's Decor. I'm a wreath maker, small business owner, side hustler, community builder, and I'm not standing here pretending I've mastered balance. I'm standing here as someone who has lived burnout, pushed too hard, slowed down, reset, and learned a lot the messy way. Miss Phi Diva, I am good. I am sharing my heart with you all about the burnout versus balance situation. Real talk exists because nobody warned us that building a business isn't just about products and sales. It's emotional. It's mental. It's heavy sometimes. Now let me ask you something real. Have you ever loved what you're building but felt tired while building it? Doesn't matter what it is. Have you ever felt tired? Because your efforts are there. You're doing the thing, but it's physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing. Have you ever felt that way? Show of hands. Because I know I have. In the middle of it, when you're doing the thing over and over and over again, and you're not seeing the return yet. Yeah, Shona, I know, I'm well aware. You're not bored, you're not wanting to quit, you're just tired. That feeling where you still want the dream, but you're exhausted carrying it, Sylvia, I see you. I see you, friend. If you've ever felt that, welcome. You're in the right room. Even if nobody is typing, which you guys are, I appreciate it. I know there are people listening who feel this. Let's talk about burnout, the real version, not the dramatic version. Burnout usually doesn't show up screaming. It whispers. It sounds like, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't feel like creating today. I'll go live later. I just need a break. And one day turns into two turns into a week turns into months. It looks like opening your workspace and standing there thinking, I don't even know where to start, whether it be a mess and things are thrown everywhere, the things that you'll get to later, where you just have piles and piles and piles of mess where the creativity is stunted, or your creativity has left simply from being so exhausted, right? Yes, I see you. It looks like scrolling instead of working. It looks like doing the bare minimum just to get through. Right, Shona, this is you right now. You have no energy. I get you. I understand that. And there's that part that messes with your head right? Because you don't understand what it is, what the stuck is, because you're still functioning. You're still paying bills, you're still working, and you're still creating sometimes. So you convince yourself you're fine. But inside, you feel tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. That's burnout. You're burnt out. Okay? And you want to do everything you can not to get to that point. It's the tired where you don't even want to answer messages. The tired where decision making feels heavy. The tired where everything feels like effort. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt genuinely excited about what you were doing? About your business, about your craft, about your community, about just everything. When was the last time you felt genuinely excited? Think about that. Not stressed, not pressured, but truly excited. And now this one. When was the last time you rested and you didn't feel guilty about it? Shona, last month was the last time you felt truly excited? I get that. January's been rough. So when was the last time you rested and you didn't feel guilty about it? Not resting while you're thinking about work. Not resting while you're feeling lazy. Actually resting. If that answer is I don't remember, that's burnout creeping in. Burnout is not weakness. Burnout is just your body and heart saying, you've been carrying too much for too long. It's things we don't talk about, because we see other people's highlight reels. Okay? We see what people want us to see. We don't see what's really behind the scenes. And these conversations are important to normalize all the things that make up creating what you're creating. Okay? Because it's not just you. It's not. And we don't talk about these things enough. So I'm inviting you into the conversation. I'm inviting you to talk about these things. Not because there's any shame, because there shouldn't be, but because you're not alone. Shona, I think because I'm dealing with so much mentally, I can't focus on designing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's having those conversations where a perspective shift or maybe a problem-solving situation can come out of what you're going through, regardless of what that mental heaviness is. Okay? But you're not alone. You're not alone. We all have things that are pulling us in a million different directions, right? So you're not alone. So thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you sharing, putting yourself out here. Let's talk about real life busy. Real life busy includes work schedules, kid schedules, family needs, doctor appointments, house responsibilities, bills, and then business. Most of you are not sitting at home with unlimited time to chase your dream. You're building after work, on weekends, late at night, in tiny pockets of time. And that matters. Let me say this clearly. You cannot compare your pace to somebody else doing this full time. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. You cannot compare your pace to someone doing this full time. Welcome in, Cindy. You're not late. I'm glad you're here. If someone has 8 hours a day and you have 2 tired hours at night, that is not the same playing field. It just isn't. And when you compare yourself anyway, you create pressure that does not belong to you. That's creating pressure that doesn't belong to you. Pressure to rush, pressure to overwork, pressure to burn out. Slow growth that fits your real life will always beat fast growth that breaks you. Good morning, Michelle. Welcome in. If you're building tired, that doesn't make you weak. That makes you committed. That makes you disciplined. That makes you brave. Stop minimizing that. Okay, stop minimizing that. Do not compare your pace, your part-time hustle, to somebody's full-time business. Okay, you're building something to make it full-time. That's the hope, right? So that you can do this full-time, whether it's replacing your already established income. You know, you want to be in a place and build in such a way that is sustainable for your life, for what you're doing. So stop rushing. Stop telling yourself things that aren't true, because they're just not. Okay? I'm so glad you guys are here to have this conversation, because burnout is real, friends. Burnout is real. Creatives burn out faster because this is personal. We burn out faster because it's personal. You don't just sell products, you sell ideas, your style, your taste, your creativity. So when something doesn't sell, it feels like you failed. Anybody had that happen? When something doesn't sell fast, you feel like you failed. When someone criticizes your work, it feels personal. When somebody criticizes your work, because we're creatives, it feels personal. That emotional weight builds up. Now let me say something important. Your business is something you do. Your business is something you build. It is not who you are. I can't emphasize that enough. I cannot emphasize that enough. You need to tell yourself, my business is something I do. It is not who I am. Don't identify yourself by what you do, because then you're allowing the criticisms to determine how far you go, how fast you grow. Don't do that, friends. Please don't do that to yourself. Your worth does not change with your sales. Your value does not rise and fall with engagement. Your value does not rise and fall with engagement. Stop focusing on the numbers. Your focus is in the wrong place if you're focusing on numbers. Number of likes, number of follows, number of interactions, number of sales. No, that cannot be your focus. Okay? Because it will cause you to burn out. Your focus is in the wrong place. Separate your identity from business. It is one of the healthiest things that you can do. Separating it, keeping it separate. Separate your identity with your business. Okay? Yes, you are your brand, absolutely. Okay, but it's not your identity. There's a difference. Okay? Your brand, even though you're your brand, is different than your identity. And here's another thing. Creativity needs rest. Creativity needs rest. If you're uninspired lately, hi Justin, it's probably not because you lost your creativity. It's because you haven't rested enough to refill it. Just like any cup, if you're pouring out creativity from a cup, eventually that cup is going to be empty. So you need to focus on how you refill your cup. What are you refilling your cup with so that you can continue to pour out? You can't pour from an empty cup. You just can't. And because we're creative and we're pouring out consistently, taking rest is essential. Taking rest is essential. Not burnout kind of rest, like truly intentional rest, something that refills your cup, no matter what it is. And guess what? Nobody does it the same, because we are all individuals and we're all different. What fills your cup is not going to be what fills somebody else's cup. Your cup is special. It's your cup. And you don't have to explain it to anybody. You don't. That is your intentional filling up of your cup so then you can pour it out. Okay? But it matters what you're using to fill that cup. Hear me, friends. Rest is essential. Now let's clear up some balance myths, okay? Lie number 1, if I slow down, I fall behind. If I slow down, I fall behind. That's a myth. Okay? You cannot sprint forever. Nobody can. That's unrealistic. Okay? You can't sprint forever. If I slow down, I fall behind is a myth. Listen, if you need to slow down for whatever reason, for whatever it is that life is throwing at you right now, please do it unapologetically. Please do it, excuse the cat. Please do it unapologetically. It does not define you. Your need for rest does not define you. It doesn't define your business, and you're not falling behind. You're doing what you need to do in order to continue. Okay? Because we want longevity. I don't know anybody that's doing this just to be a one and done thing. You know, you're doing it because you want to build a good foundation. You want to be consistent with it. Sorry. She was insistent in being in my face. Lie number 2. Okay, this is a myth. Successful people never rest. That's not true. That's false. They just don't post their rest days. Successful people rest. They just don't post about it. They just don't share, hey, I'm taking a rest day. I'm taking, some time off. Excuse me real quick. They just don't post about it. That doesn't mean they don't do it. Okay, so that's a myth. Successful people never rest. That's a myth. They do. They just don't post about it, okay? Lie number 3. Balance means doing everything. What? Balance means doing everything. No, it doesn't. That doesn't even make sense. Balance means choosing. It's a choice. You need to make specific choices, what you say yes to and what you say no to. Okay? It's a choice. It is not doing everything. You don't get extra points for exhaustion. You don't get extra points for exhaustion. You don't get rewarded for being overwhelmed. How many times has anybody said, I'm feeling overwhelmed? My capacity is met its limit. I cannot add one more thing to my plate. Okay? That's smart. Choosing what you invest your time in rather than allowing things to just continuously come at you is a wise play. You cannot honestly, successfully do a million things at once. You can't. It's not sustainable. You need to make your business fit your life, not the other way around. Okay, your business needs to fit into your life, not your life fit into your business. Okay, you need to keep your priorities straight. You need to allow for rest. And you need to understand that balance doesn't mean doing everything. Okay? You will come up with systems and things that you can sustain for your business that bring you naturally forward. Okay? That's why this community is so important. And that's why sharing these things are so important. Because everybody just sees the outcome. They don't see the work behind what is done to get there. Okay? This is not overnight success. This isn't people just deciding one day, hey, I'm gonna make a business and here it is. That's not how this works. It is intentional choosing of the things that you pay attention to. Okay? Being tired does not equal dedication. Okay? Being tired does not equal dedication. Listen, tired and happy is different than tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. Okay? Tired and happy means that you're doing exactly what you need to do when you need to do it, and it's bringing you joy. And that equals being able to sustain what you're doing. Okay? Tired and overwhelmed and exhausted, that's going to cause you to burn out. Has anybody ever either gone through burnout themselves or know someone who has truly gone through burnout? It's hard to recover from. It is it's mentally, physically, emotionally taxing. It is hard to recover from. So if anybody can hear my voice right now and it can prevent you from burning out when you see that that's the road that you're headed on, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to take this time to help another individual, another creative out. So thank you for being here and thank you for listening. We're going to talk about what actually helps. Okay? First, stop trying to work every single day. You heard me. Stop trying to work every single day. Instead of I must work daily, try 2 or 3 focused business days. Okay? Try 2 or 3 focused business days. On those days, you show up strong. Other days, you rest and do light tasks. 2 or 3 focused business days, and then the rest being light tasks, will be sustainable for those that are trying to create a business that have other responsibilities and it's not just their business. Like, we don't work this 8 hours a day. We have another job. So we need to do things that are actually sustainable. The second thing, have you heard the word batch? B-A-T-C-H, batch. Create content in chunks. Create contents in chunks. Schedule it. Remove daily pressure. Okay? You can schedule your content. You can batch things. You can repost something over and over and over again to get in front of people. Okay? You can also change a few things about what you're posting to say the same thing, but it's different. So repurpose stuff. Even if it's old, repurpose it. This is sustainable stuff. Okay, so you batch it. Okay, so again, you're showing up 2 to 3 days consistently focused on your business, and the other days you're doing light tasks. It's about moving forward. It's about building with intentionality. Okay? It's about getting to that prize, that business that runs because you've done the work. Okay? The third thing is boundaries. Boundaries. You need to have healthy boundaries. Okay? You don't owe instant replies. Okay? Somebody sends you a message, you don't have to answer them right away. That could be one of your light tasks, something that you do once a day. Okay? I know it's that immediate, response thing that we have within us, but even our Etsy stores require, 24 hours? Must respond within 24 hours. That's a doable thing. You can do that. So don't worry about instant responses, okay? Because you don't owe anybody that, okay? So you have to have healthy boundaries. You are allowed to log out. You are allowed to log out. You have an online business, yes, you're online a lot, but you are allowed to log out and take time for yourself. You are allowed to protect your evenings if that's what you choose for yourself. Now here's something practical. Make a must-do list. 3 things only. Okay? 3 things only. A must-do list. Okay? Not 10. 3. A must-do list. Not a to-do list, a must-do list. Something that's going to push that needle forward. Okay? When those are done, stop. Okay? This is a boundary. Learning to stop is just as important as learning to start. We're trying to prevent burnout. We're trying to do this in a way that's sustainable for your business, for you as an individual, okay? Because, again, we can say this a million times over. This is hard. Not impossible, but it's hard. And it takes perseverance. It takes time, it takes grit, and it takes doing that next thing, moving that needle forward, okay, not getting stuck, okay, but you need to hear this. This is the stuff that people don't share about what they're doing. They don't share all the not so pretty, not so fun stuff, okay? They share their wins. And they should celebrate those wins. They should share when they're on that hilltop because it took so much work to get there. But they don't share all the steps, all the behind the scenes stuff that it takes to get there. And we don't expect them to. We want to see them winning. Okay? But that's why I created this space, so that you are aware that you are not alone in this, that the struggles are real, and that there is a way out of it. We just need to take baby steps. Okay? Baby steps. If you're tired, you're not weak. If you're overwhelmed, you are not failing. If growth feels slow, you are still growing. You're still growing. Rest is not quitting. Okay, but it's intentional. You have to intentionally rest. When you start to feel that slump, when you start to feel that you're not inspired, your creativity has kind of weaned off a little bit, it's time to rest. It's time to take a break. It's time to do something different. It's time to shift it so that you can come back strong. So this lasts a day or two and not months. Okay, so rest intentionally. Okay, rest is refueling. It's refueling. Rest is refueling. Even God modeled rest because rhythm matters. Can't argue with the Creator. At least I don't. That's my belief. Have you noticed how you carry your shoulders? I just noticed myself. So, have you ever noticed how you carry your shoulders? How when you're like stressed and carrying a lot of weight, your shoulders are kind of lifted. They're kind of up here. Do you ever realize, like, have you ever dropped your shoulders? Do it right now. Drop your shoulders. See how that feels. Let that just sink in. Like, rest your arms, drop your shoulders. Don't keep them up high, right? Yes, Beth. Hi, friend. Right? You're up here all the time. Drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Unclench your jaw. Breathe. Take a deep breath. You deserve peace too, not just productivity. You're not a machine, nor do we want you to be. Okay? You're not a machine, but you need realistic things to focus on. Not just go, 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 do, do, do. Okay? Because you're not falling behind. You're not. Stop looking at everything and everyone else. Okay? Tunnel vision. I invite you to embrace tunnel vision, your lane. Okay? Because the way that you create, the way that you build, the way that makes sense to you is the right way. It is. It's the right way. We're not cookie cutter. We're not cookie cutter people. What works for one isn't going to work for another, but perspective matters. Like, if you get so stuck, who are you talking to? Who's feeding into that spiral that you're in? People that understand what you're doing or people that don't get it? I don't want you surrounding yourself with people that have no clue what it is to build something from scratch. I want you surrounding yourself with people who are giving you a hand up, not a hand out, a hand up, helping you, like truly helping you, wanting to see you succeed. Okay? That when you're sharing your heart, when you're telling them, I don't know what I'm doing, some days are really hard. My negative thoughts sometimes take over and they overwhelm me. Who's speaking into you? Who's saying, friend, I know. I have those days too. And it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it just takes taking a break, doing something else that you like. Whether it's taking a nice long walk in nature, reading your Bible, reading a book, watching crime stories. I mean, whatever it is that gets you out of your current state. Listen to music that inspires you. You know, it doesn't, just because you're feeling the way you're feeling right in this moment, that's not where you're going to stay. That's not where you're going to stay, but you need to have people that you're surrounded with that are helping you flip the script. They're helping you flip that script. That comparison thing, you don't need to be comparing yourself to absolutely anybody else other than you. other than you. Okay, so let's take you from a year ago. Okay, what actions did you take from last year? What actions did you take to move forward? Did you take a design class? Did you get a coach? Did you join a community that inspires you? What did you do different this year than you did last year? Have you grown? Are you different, better than you were last year? That matters. That matters. And if the answer is no, I'm still in the same place, then you really need to look at what you're doing and do something different. If you don't change what you're doing, you're gonna have the same results. That's just facts. Okay? And I often tell people, what would you tell your kids? What would you tell your best friend? What would you tell somebody that you truly want to succeed? You need to be telling yourself those things too. You need to be telling yourself those things too, because I know for a fact that when you were coming out in this world, nobody could tell you you couldn't do fill in the blank. Nobody could tell you that you couldn't do it because you had nothing, like the sky was the limit. You had nothing preventing you from doing that thing. Nothing was preventing you. You know, that I call that my BA era, because if I wanted to do something, I was going to figure out how to do it. Why isn't that true today? Why do we make excuses for that today? Is it because of what other people think? So what? So what if they think that? So what if they think you're crazy? So what if they don't support you? Stop focusing on the things that really aren't important, because they're not. Stop getting your feelings hurt by the people that aren't showing up for you. Please stop doing that, because that's not what this is about. It's just not. You were given a gift that's uniquely yours. You were given a gift that's uniquely yours. Please shine in that gift. Please shine in that gift. Hi, Miss Cassie. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't listen to those that roll their eyes at you, that try to discourage you. Please don't listen to them. You were given a gift. You were given a gift, and you need to remind yourself of that. I don't care if you have to write 1,000,000 Post-its all over the house that remind you, you are uniquely gifted. You were given a gift. You need to just accept that gift and shine in that gift, even if it's messy. Even if it's messy, even if nobody else understands it, even if nobody supports you. Listen to Claudia. You are not going to have cheerleaders. You're not. People fear what they don't understand. Okay? And it's not even a conscious thing. Like, they're not consciously out to hurt you, but asking you questions that make you question yourself. Yeah, no. Unless it's something that's harming you. Like, I get if you have addictions, if you have, things going on that aren't good for you. But creating a business, friend, high five the heck out of that. Okay? Because it is work and you can do it. Okay? High five the heck out of that. I am so crazy proud of you for putting yourself out here, for figuring it out, for showing up, for doing the thing that's hard. But you are uniquely gifted. You need to own that giftedness and show up that way. Show up that way. Even if nobody is around. Okay? Even if nobody is around. You do it for you and the audience of one. The audience of one. All right, let's get back into our conversation. I know I'm so passionate about this. If you feel behind, you're not. You're building at a pace that your life allows. Your life allows it, okay? You're building at a pace that your life allows. Progress is not always exciting. Sometimes progress looks boring. Sometimes it looks repetitive. Sometimes it does. But consistency beats intensity every single time. The word, consistency. Consistency. It beats intensity every single time. Your inspirational quote for today, I am uniquely gifted. Yes, you are. You are more than what you produce. Your business is part of your life, not your whole life. Okay, please remember that. And I'm proud of you for still showing up. Okay? I know I don't know you guys personally. I don't. But I am you. On this side of the camera, I am you. I am doing the exact same thing you are. I am growing my business. Okay? And it's messy. But I have to tell myself these exact same things that I'm telling you. And it helps so much to remind myself of these things so that I don't feel like giving up. I don't want anybody to feel like giving up. We're just getting there. We're just getting there. Even when it's quiet, even when it's hard. Okay? We're all growing. We are all growing. Again, I'm going to remind you that these Real Talk sessions are for this community. I want to share with you all the ins and outs of what growing a business is like. Okay? But I'm also inviting my friends in the community to join me for Real Talk, to share where your business came from, how you grow your business, who you are, what inspires you, because that helps others see that, hey, you know, they're a lot like me. Have conversations with each other. You would be surprised how many creators would love to have a conversation with you. Oh, Shona, big hugs, friend. Just know that you're here. You're here, right here in my heart. I know that somebody needed to hear this because I know that I needed to know this for myself. Okay? Oh, big hugs. I'm a sympathetic, empathetic crier, whatever you want to cry it. I feel you right here, friend. I wish I could hug you. I hope you feel my heart. I hope you feel my heart, friend. Aw, friends. Big group hug. Big group hug. I hope this helps you. I really do hope this helps you. Because that's why Real Talk exists. That's why I created it to begin with. Okay? I created this space so that other creators had somewhere to, say to each other, me too. That is what's happening in the comments. You are all having me too moments. Guys, that's a connection. That's a human connection, a community connection. Okay? These things are important. You are not alone. Okay? We're doing this together. We're just not doing it together. Does that make sense? So you're not alone. You are not alone. And if today helped you, stay connected with one another. Stay connected with one another. Reach out to one another. Don't stay alone. Don't stay alone. So I have an announcement. The next Real Talk is with Jen from Porch Appeal by Jen. She is joining me next week to share about her journey of her business. So next week, next Friday, Jen of Porch Appeal by Jen, our little Californian that loves Disneyland. If you don't know her, you need to follow her. Get to know her. Go look at her clips. Go see her organizational stuff that she shares, her tutorials that she shares, all the things that she shares. She is so talented. And when I asked the community to join me for Real Talk, she was one of the first people to raise their hands and be like, I want to be interviewed. Right? So she's joining me next week. And if you're building a business, growing a brand, trying to figure things out, this one's for you. Follow me, turn on your notifications, and come hang out with us. Now, hear this before I go. You are allowed to build and rest. You are allowed to dream and protect your peace. You are allowed to grow without burning out. You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove anything. Just keep showing up in healthy ways. Okay? That's all I have for you today, my friends. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week for Real Talk. Have a great week. Bye, friends.